Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another match reaction. We have just absolutely battered Luton 6-2 in the FA Cup through to the quarter-final. The hunt for the treble continues, the back-to-back. Before I get into breaking down this game, do me a massive favour, please leave a like on this video. It massively helps the channel, and subscribe if you are new. Also, there is a membership link top line in the description. Don't feel like you have to, but if you want to help support the channel further, it is there, $3.99 a month. You get some perks. Come join us in the live stream tonight as well. It should be about 10:30 UK in time. If you remember, you'll be a moderator in the live chats, but again, like I said, don't feel like you have to. But come join us 10:30. Chat about the game, podcast style live streams, you know the drill. But I'm here to give my 2 pence on the Luton game, just short and sweet summary. And you know, first thing that you've got to address is the 1-2 punch. The most devastating combo in world football. Oh, it's Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, what, 4 assists, 5 goals? Like, it's ridiculous. The level is through the roof. It's absolutely, it's an anomaly. And you've got to enjoy it while it's here, because it won't last forever. Of course, 2 players on either side of their careers. Of course, Haaland in his early 20s, he's got light years ahead of him in terms of development and in terms of longevity. De Bruyne on the opposite side, he's into his 30s now. He doesn't have the longest time in the world, but we will still have, or hopefully as long as he doesn't go to Saudi Arabia, we should still have a few seasons left of this combination at the top level. And I mean, I feel confident going into any game when these two are on the pitch, simply because they can bail you out. Even if you don't play well, they can bail you out. Of course, we did play well today against Luton, so it wasn't a bailing out situation. But you know what I mean? In a bigger game where the you know, it's fine margins, the game's tighter, they can bail you out. They can be the difference between winning and drawing, or winning and losing even. So yeah, it's just magical to watch. And of course, it helped by the fact that Luton decided to go with a man-to-man system. They tried to play 2 versus 2, and I said it on the City Extra live stream. Fortune favours the brave, but there's brave and then there's stupid. Like, I commend them on the one hand because they had the bollocks to do something that not a lot of teams do, which is try and give it a go. They tried to go for the game, not just sit back in a low block like a lot of teams do and just soak up pressure and Hills on the counter-attack. They tried to go for the game, and they got 2 goals out of it. One of which was a screamer, of course the other of which was more of a mistake from us, but they got rewarded. They got rewarded attacking-wise for their setup, but defensively, they didn't get rewarded. They got absolutely torn to pieces. So again, like, I commend them on the one hand for trying to be brave, but on the other hand, it was just destined to not work. The only way it works is if Haaland is just lacking his shooting boots again, which, I mean, he wasn't, was he? So yeah, long day for Luton, long day, but I'm sure they won't mind. They've got a race for survival in the Premier League, which they'll be more focused on than trying to get a day out at Wembley. So no power to him for the rest of the season, but that was, you know, that's where the problems lie, and it kind of relates to the other point I throw up player ratings up on screen, which is Kovacic and Nunes, 2, in my opinion, 2 of the better players. I have Nunes in front of me in midfield because I did, you know, line up the player ratings before. He was out on the wing. It's crazy, but this is Pep Guardiola we're talking about. But they thrived today on the Luton setup. Luton trying to go for this man-to-man system, this high-pressing system, trying to force us into mistakes. All it took was Ortega to play one long into Haaland, and there was space absolutely everywhere for players like Kovacic, like Nunes, like De Bruyne, to just pick up space, run into space. And again, like, it's just exploiting what Luton did. Like, on the one hand, again, like I said, yes, I give them credit for trying to go for the game, but on the other hand, it is like almost ridiculous at the same time because they got absolutely trounced. But again, it's taken the opportunities, and with the obvious Grealish injury being the only real negative on the performance, you know, Pep's got a decision to make for these big games this March month coming up. Of course, Manchester Derby up next, got Anfield, Brighton away, Arsenal at home, Villa, I believe Tottenham's in April as well, Tottenham away, so big games. If Grealish has re-aggravated his groin injury, he's going to be out for a few weeks, possibly. We don't actually know. But with the assumption that it is that same injury, that same groin injury, and he'll be out for a few weeks, or should be at least anyway, give himself some time to recover this time, that Pep's got a decision to make on what he does on the left. Of course, he's got the option of Jeremy Doku, who's still very much raw and unpolished and still has a few things to do to work on his game. You even saw today things like holding on to the ball for too long and just overall decision making still a little bit behind, and trying to be the hero too often, trying to take 2 or 3 players on when it's just not on and you just shouldn't do it. So it's things like that he'll learn, but does that mean Pep will probably side towards playing someone like a Nunes in a wide position again? I'd say so. I'd say he's kind of jumped up in the pecking order in terms of Pep's thought process for the derby. I think more so Anfield is the big one for me, where, as it stands right now, I'm inclined to say I'd start Nunes over Doku. I really would. I think Nunes has played really, really well when he's got his chance. In the wide area, he kind of suits a Pep Guardiola wide player. Because it's not a typical wide player. Look at Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish. They're not wide players. They're not wingers. They're not direct, fast. They don't take players on. They're there for control. And Nunes is a great fit for that because he also has the other side of the game, the other qualities of Mourinho, where he's deceptively quick. He wants to run at a man. He wants to dribble, take up central positions, drive with the ball. And that's like a Pep Guardiola wide player to a T, so I think he suits it. I think Pep will choose to go for that instead of Oscar Bob instead of Doku, and Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob would be an option, but again, I think he's still in his development, so I think playing him at Anfield is a baptism of fire. It's a wild game to just throw him into. But that's sort of my thought process is Nunes is playing well in these wider areas the last couple of games. I think he's higher on the pecking order now. I think you could see him start there come Sunday in the derby. So that's about it from me. That's where I lie with the game. I don't think there's too much to talk about defensively. We did our job, because the 2 goals, there's nothing we can really say apart from the first goal's an absolute screamer. Nothing we could do about that. Second goal comes from Ortega miskicking it, and then a couple of lucky deflections, and Luton are in, and there's nothing you can do about the shot. It's a great strike. So I'm not too fussed about the defending. In terms of going forward, we took our chances, exactly what we want. We've been waiting for this to happen, for things to click, and things have clicked. Maybe this is the turning point. Maybe this is the point where people stop panicking, and we can just go on with the rest of our season where people stop losing their minds over people missing chances. This is I said this in the preview. This is around the time in the season where I expect us to kick on, where I expect the performances to upturn, and this might be the first step in the right direction. We'll see come Sunday, because that's the big game. The big one that we all want blood in that game. No mercy. So we'll see when that time comes around. But that'll do from me for today. Thanks very much for watching. If you do me a massive favour, and please leave a like on your way out, be massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new. Turn your notification bells on, because we should be live tonight about 10:30 UK time. Late night chat podcast style, talking about the game. I think also Chelsea play other cup sort of other FA Cup games, maybe the draw. I don't know when the draw is. It might be tomorrow, so if it is, we will talk about that. Of course, again, like I said at the start, top line in the description, there's also a membership link. If you do want to support the channel further, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you tonight for a late night live stream.